I have everything here. Roll call, Mr. Berestecky. Mr. Brice. Mrs. Brice.
Here.
Mr. McDowell.
Here.
Mrs. Pavelko.
Here.
Mr. Perrotta.
Here.
Mr. Thompson.
Here.
The mayor's present. We have a quorum.
Okay, do we have anything to open? I say no. Okay. Now, you filled out these paperwork, but nothing on here is about the agenda, so this will all be taken care of after the meeting. All right. Motion by,
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for June 13th.
seconded. Made motion by Mr. Brice, second by Mrs. Pavelko. Roll call.
Mr. Berestecky.
Yes.
Mrs. Brice.
Yes.
Mr. Brice.
Yes.
Mr. McDowell.
Yes.
Mrs. Pavelko.
Yes.
Mr. Perrotta.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Mrs. Pavelko, could you finance, please?
Yes, the payroll report for the month of June. Total amount was $73,598.97. The treasurer's report for the month of June, balance in the checking account as of 6/1/24 was $1,671,756.41. Total receipts were $1,581,116.09. Temporary investments as of 6/1/24 was $8,994.73. Total funds available, $3,261,867.23. Total expenditures were $1,031,350.64. Temporary investments as of 6/30/24 were $422,387.53. The balance in the checking account as of 6/30/24, $2,221,521.86. I'd like to make a motion to accept the payroll and treasurer's report as read.
Motion by Mrs. Pavelko,
Second.
second by Mr. Brice. Roll call, please.
Mr. Berestecky.
Aye.
Mr. Brice.
Aye.
Mrs. Brice.
Yes.
Mr. McDowell. Mrs. Pavelko.
Aye.
Mr. Perrotta.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
I have the bill report for the month is total of $569,149.28. I'd like to make a motion to accept the bill report as read.
Motion by Mrs. Pavelko,
Second.
second by Mr. McDowell. Roll call, please.
Mr. Berestecky.
Aye.
Mr. Brice.
Aye.
Mrs. Brice.
Yes.
Mr. McDowell.
Yes.
Mrs. Pavelko.
Aye.
Mr. Perrotta.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
The tax report for the month of June 30th, 2024, total collected was $484,232.95. I'd like to make a motion to accept the tax collection report as read.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Pavelko, second by Mr. Brice. Roll call, please.
Mr. Berestecky.
Aye.
Mr. Brice.
Aye.
Mrs. Brice.
Yes.
Mr. McDowell.
Yes.
Mrs. Pavelko.
Aye.
Mr. Perrotta.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to enter into an agreement with the Mon Valley Alliance Foundation and the Commissioners of Washington County to participate in the Blight Mitigation Strategy Plan, which the scope of the plan to include the boroughs of Charleroi, Donora, and the city of Monongahela for a 3-year term.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Pavelko, second by Mr. Perrotta. Roll call, please.
Mr. Barris, could you go to
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that the Mon Valley Alliance submitted a proposal which will be voted on July 18th by the commissioners, Washington County Commissioners, for a 3-year contract to oversee the blight project in our areas. And the cost of the land bank will be paid for each year for us and will help us take control of the blight in the city of Donora. So we're working on taking care of blight.
So, it won't cost the taxpayers anything?
No, this is a project that the Washington County Commissioners approached us and they wanted us to give them a list of blight in our area, which we did. We submitted that. And now they're going to take control of the Mon Valley Alliance and help work with our 3 communities to identify blight in our areas. They're going to have like a tax map, and they have interns that have already started the project. They've already started with McCain and Mountain Avenues, main streets in all 3 of our towns. And they'll be categorizing things red, orange, yellow, green. So they'll know where the interns will be going out and taking pictures. They already started on the main street of McCain and Meldon. It's like they've already started the project. And this is like us voting on us to do this is a little bit after the fact, but they have things under control. They're going to work with our code enforcement officers. The city of Greensburg has already done this project, and they learned from them. They have a lot of things. We've met with them, and they're going to help us combat our problems. So it's a good thing for Donora and all of our communities.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Roll call.
Mr. Berestecky?
Aye.
Mr. Brice?
Aye.
Mrs. Brice?
Yes.
Mr.
Aye.
McDowell?
Yes.
Mrs. Pavelko?
Aye.
Mr. Perrotta?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Mr. Perrotta, Health, Sanitation, and Code.
Okay, registration fee report for the month of June, $2,450. Year-to-date collected, $22,515. Rental inspection report is collected for the month of June, $450. Year-to-date, $4,490. Occupancy report, month of June, $350. Year-to-date, $2,300. Sanitation report for the month of June, $32,558.45. Year-to-date collected, $367,218.55. Delinquent sanitation fees collected for the month of June, $154.73. Year-to-date collected, $1,775.98. Fines from the sanitation fees collected from the magistrate, year-to-date collected, $1,118.45. Street openings for the month of June, 1. Year-to-date, 40. Total street opening fees was $250 for June, $10,000 year-to-date collected. I forgot to type in the building permits. I have it right here. Building permit report, 4 building permits issued for the month of June. Permit fees was $411. Construction cost was $41,100 for the month of June. I have a motion to authorize the President of Council to execute any and all documents pertaining to the demolition of 647 McCain Avenue, parcel number 240-013-0009-0007-00.
Motion by Mr. Perrotta,
I'll second that.
second by Mrs. Pavelko. Roll call, please.
Mr. Berestecky?
Aye.
Mr. Brice?
Aye.
Mrs. Brice?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell? Mrs. Pavelko?
Aye.
Mr. Perrotta?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
I just have one question on that. They plan on starting that project like soon, if we know?
The last we heard, they were supposed to start last week, but they were waiting on that document to be signed. And with our administrator out with an illness right now, there was a delay.
I had signed the contract on it.
Okay,
And
so
it's signed, they're ready to go.
hopefully they'll get to it this week maybe.
I hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a motion to enter into an agreement for a 2-year contract extension for the years of 2025 and 2026 for an increased fee of $54,413.65 for Fayette Waste, which will bring the annual total amount to $363,252.60. This will be an average of an approximate $30 per household for garbage contract extension.
Motion by Mr. Perrotta,
Now, is that $30 for both years?
$30 each year. Motion by Mr. Perrotta, second by Mr. McDowell. Roll call, please.
Mr. Berestecky,
Yes.
Mr. Brice,
Aye.
Mrs. Brice,
Yes.
Mr. McDowell,
Yes.
Mrs. Pavelko,
Aye.
Mr. Perrotta,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
I'd like to just say, the reason why we extended the contract is because the last time we got bids in, everybody else was like $500,000 a year. So, I mean, as bad as they are, most days, some days, once we lose this contract, they're gonna be $500,000 a year. So just want to let the public know. Okay. Mr. Perrotta?
I have a motion to authorize the Borough Solicitor to draft an amendment to Ordinance 1390 regarding updating the International Property Maintenance Code from the 2012 edition to the most current edition.
Motion by Mr. Perrotta,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Thompson.
And just the quick comment, the reason we're doing this is the International Property Maintenance Code and all codes are updated every 3 years. The current code in our ordinance is 2012, so we're 12 years behind the 8 ball. So there's updated code sections that we technically cannot enforce until we update our ordinance.
All right.
Ready for roll call?
Yes.
Madam President, Mr. Berestecky,
Yes.
Mr. Brice,
Yes.
Mrs. Brice,
Yes.
Mr. McDowell,
Aye.
Mrs. Pavelko,
Aye.
Mr. Perrotta,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Mr. Berestecky, recreation, please.
Yes, it's short and sweet. Monies collected during the month of June was $500. Year-to-date, $11,100. That's my report.
Thank you very much. Mr. McDowell, community affairs.
Yes, banquet hall, monies collected for the month of June was $100. Year-to-date total, $2,049.15.
We have a motion.
I have a motion to authorize Mr. George Larson of 428 DeAnne, Donora, to assist with new design in the borough website at no charge to the borough.
Motion by Mr. McDowell,
Second.
second by Mr. Perrotta. And before you do roll call, I just want to say that it was very generous of him to offer to help us with the website.
Thank you.
Okay,
And he is here today.
thank you very much. Roll call, Mr. Right.
Yes, Mr. Berestecky,
Yes.
Mr. Brice,
Yes.
Mrs. Brice,
Yes.
Mr. McDowell,
Aye.
Mrs. Pavelko,
Aye.
Mr. Perrotta,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you again. Mr. Thompson, highways and streets.
Yeah, I have a motion to approve a handicap parking spot in front of 678 Thompson Avenue.
Motion by Mr. Thompson,
Seconded.
second by Mrs. Pavelko.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Berestecky,
Yes.
Mr. Brice,
Yes.
Mrs. Brice,
Yes.
Mr. McDowell,
Aye.
Mrs. Pavelko,
Aye.
Mr. Perrotta,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Mr. Brice, public safety.
Okay, police report for the month of June 2024. Police answered 293 calls. They had 36 reportable calls. They made 12 arrests, 6 traffic citations. They hauled 1,924 miles. The overtime for the month is $10,731.48. Total for the year is $36,046.22. Received $40 in parking permits. Received $748.31 from the magistrate. Police reports was $30 for a total of $778.31. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to promote Patrolman David Armada from part-time to full-time status, effective date July 1st, 2024.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Brice, second by Mr. Perrotta. Roll call, please.
Mr. Berestecky.
Yes.
Mr. Brice.
Yes.
Mrs. Brice.
Yes.
Mr. McDowell.
Aye.
Mrs. Pavelko.
Aye.
Mr. Perrotta.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Mr. Brice? You wanna read that paragraph?
Okay, motion to hire part-time. What?
Put it on record that we.
Yeah, I'll just note for the minutes, Madam President, that because of our current status of having less than 3 full-time officers, the civil service requirement is not in effect for this hire. But once we hire a 3rd officer, that's when we begin civil service again.
Right, thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Brice, I'm sorry.
This one down there. Okay, motion to hire part-time police officer Mike Vayansky at an initial pay rate of $29.18 per hour, no fringe benefits, as per the collective bargaining agreement.
Motion by Mr. Brice,
Second.
second by Mr. Perrotta. Roll call, please.
Mr. Berestecky.
Yes.
Mr. Brice.
Yes.
Mrs. Brice.
Yes.
Mr. McDowell. Mrs. Pavelko.
Aye.
Mr. Perrotta.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Okay, the borough is still accepting applications for full-time police applications to take the civil service test. Borough has extended the deadline, and I don't know if you wanna put a date or.
We extended it once to June 28th, but we were just,
You can do it.
we,
We'll just do it indefinite until we get our police force back up to where it should be.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Alonzo.
Well, part-time police officer applications will remain open as needed also.
Okay. Mayor's report.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Kelly Baylaw will be having her, annual street fair on Saturday, August 10th. But because of the closing of the parking garage, the event will be held in the 700 block of McCain Avenue, from 7th Street to 8th Street. And will be the, first event at the 7th Street Pavilion. So I'd like to thank Ms. Baylor for, this is, I think, her 3rd year. And it's been very successful so far, so let's make it another success for today, or this year. I would also like to thank council, especially the Public Safety Committee, Chief Rands, we're bringing our police department back. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. So, thank you, council. Thank you, chief. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Solicitor's report?
Yes, Madam President, in each packet today, is a draft ordinance, for pods. Mr. Berestecky, I know, requested this for some time. Mr. Volpe and I discussed this, via email. We still would like to research a, dumpster ordinance as well, and I believe Mr. Volpe is going to look at that with me. But this is one that, actually follows the model that was created, by the Pennsylvania Association for Boroughs. So I would recommend that perhaps we make a motion tonight to authorize for advertising for first reading for next month, so we can approve it in September.
Okay, I need a motion.
So moved.
Can we do that under new business?
Yeah, we sure can.
Yeah, that's. Or would that fall under old business?
I mean, technically it was on the agenda as a discussion, so I think it could be old business.
Yeah,
Either way,
okay,
so it's just a motion to advertise.
okay.
Police report, chief?
No.
Street supervisor? No. Fire chief?
No report.
Code enforcement officer, please?
Okay, for the month of June, there were 15 notice of violations issued, 5 were abated, 7 citations were issued, and 3 asked for extra time. 3 zoning certificates were issued, 11 lien letters, and like our solicitor said, I'm gonna work to get some information about a dumpster ordinance for the borough. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, under the old business, I need a motion.
Motion to amend the agenda to reflect the new motion that this borough solicitor has requested to be added.
Okay, for the pod.
Correct.
All right, so we're gonna advertise for that ordinance.
Well, we have to make the motion to amend the agenda first.
I second it.
Okay, motion to agenda amended by Mr. Perrotta, second by Mrs. Pavelko. So this is amended.
Take a roll call on that. Mr. Berestecky?
Yes.
Mr. Brice?
Yes.
Mrs. Brice?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Aye.
Mrs. Pavelko?
Aye.
Mr. Perrotta?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Who seconded it? Okay. Okay. Good.
So now you can make it now?
Motion to advertise for the August council meeting for the advertisement of the pods ordinance for the first reading.
Motion by Mr. Perrotta, second by Mr. Berestecky.
It was Casey and Fred, right?
Yes. Okay, you made it, Berestecky.
You know, I haven't touched the scorecard in so long, I'm like trying to keep up and figure out where everything is. Thank you. Mr. Berestecky?
Yes.
Mr. Brice?
Yes.
Mrs. Brice?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mrs. Pavelko?
Aye.
Mr. Perrotta?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson? Motion carries 7-0.
Okay, new business?
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
I forgot something.
What?
I'd like to, all of council and myself would like to congratulate Marcia Lawson.
Oh, yes.
She has earned the Certificate of Recognition for outstanding and dedicated service and was placed on the 2024 Municipal Clerk's Honor Roll. Congratulations, Marcia.
Public address, let's see. Okay, afterward, Janet Balko, what did you get?
The Donora Smog Commemorative Committee, we're having Kennywood on August 14th. We'll have tickets next week. You can purchase them at Donora Union Pharmacy or at Marty's Pizza. We're having a bus, it'll be $5 each way, and you can just purchase those at the pharmacy. And then we're having a summer bash on August 24th. from 2 to 10. And do you think the building by the parking lot will be down by then?
What was the date?
Yeah,
There we go, push it, cause Foster said he's the only big we had, so.
yeah, if he's ready to roll.
Janet, what was the date?
August 24th.
Well, yeah, will he prepare those paperwork and get it going?
Sure.
Maybe by then, because the cost doesn't fit us in to get it over. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank
But-
you.
Did you get an answer to that?
What?
She wants to know, we kinda think we'll have that building down by August
We-
20th.
we-
All depends on what the judge
No.
knows. We have to go.
Do you have a backup plan?
Well, my question was, if the parking lot is still closed, would we be able to use the other side of the parking lot or partial? Like to put the entertainment or beer truck?
Something tells me we better have a long plan, but I can't see that. Me personally, I don't see that building being down.
No, it's 6 weeks. I know, like I said, they got the packet together to give the speed to take to the judge. We did everything we could with the owner. We sent letters, we registered letters, we certified letters. He's no response, we can go to a judge now. We already have an engineer's report that said is condemned. So a judge can sign off and just take the property and we can get it, and we already
So
have.
I'll just have to wait till the
I
beginning
just
of
hope we can
August
get it
and
done.
see what happens.
That's, at the end of the month, we better scramble and,
Well, I'll see you in August then.
We'll be here.
well,
I know. I'm not being smart.
No, I know, it's difficult, you know what?
but we can't wait to the meeting, you know what I mean? Because
I
at
know.
the end of the month, we'll get together and see what we can do and what to say. Good.
Yeah, Patsy, we.
I mean, if they have to, they could probably move it to Southern Street down to the
They don't
27th.
wanna move down.
It's kinda hard because we need shade for the petting zoo, and then I need water for the animals.
I mean, if we could get water, I mean, there's a fire hydrant right there on the corner, so we could get.
Seventh Street, I did have to put a service in there, there's no meter on it, but there's supposed to be a service in
You know
there.
what, Jen, we can only hope that it would go through really quickly, that's all I can say, and if we can get, even if he just gets it down on the ground and doesn't get it cleaned out, it's still down on the ground,
Yeah,
and it's no longer a hazard.
well, I'll wait until the beginning of August.
The biggest problem is with demolishing that building, it's so close to the building next door, they're gonna have to probably do most of it by hand, so they don't damage the neighboring structure. That's the time consuming part.
Okay. Steve,
Yes.
I myself and the Donora Small Committee would like to thank you for taking care of the, the cost of the Borough building when we had our comedy show back in
Yeah,
April.
no
I'm
worries.
sorry it's taken so long.
That's okay, thank you.
We really appreciated that.
Good, thank
That's
you.
all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dan, take cash?
I own, a house on 416 Thompson, and I have been infested with rodents, rats, raccoons, and groundhogs. It's been an issue. I haven't said a word, but now it's going after my dogs. I have them, and I have 2 dogs. I have a fenced-in area, and the rats, either the rats are going after the dogs are going after the raccoons, same thing, and
Is it owned by us or by someone else?
the house is 414 Thompson.
I'm looking it up right now.
It's a Rosella,
But I just don't know what to do, because, you know, even when my kids come over, we park on Thompson, they're getting the grandkids out of the car, and so raccoons are coming out at night, and just, you know, so I come to ask, what should we do?
It's the same person that we had a problem up at Fifth and Walnut.
right.
Pat, do we have any traps for raccoons? Do we have any extra traps?
I mean, we got them, I mean.
Anyway,
This person that owns that property owns property on the top of Fifth and McDowell also, which we've been working on getting there. She has, you know, cars, stuff everywhere. She seems to like to carry her stuff across the
oh,
town.
yeah, but, I mean, it's
So-
definitely a household, the animals are in her house, they're in the trees, they're just everywhere, I just don't know what to do.
Does she live there?
Yeah,
She lives up on
Right.
Fifth Street.
right.
Anybody that,
She abandoned the house.
She does, she'll come, she'll, you know, grab a couple things.
Mr. Volpe, has anything been issued to that individual?
Yeah, she has a hearing on the 24th for two problems.
This month?
Can we have
Yeah.
that in there?
No, because it'd be a separate citation.
So where is it, 416 Thompson Avenue?
That is my home.
Okay,
414
She is
is.
414.
I'll go there tomorrow.
I'll email you the parcel number, I have it here.
Okay.
But I just didn't know what to do because my animals are today.
Well, you did the right thing, you came to
We'll,
the
Yeah,
we will try to look into it, we'll do citations, and maybe Patsy can set some traps, and we can at least eliminate some of it.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Is this the first time you're bringing this concern to the borough?
Yes.
She's never
Okay,
done that.
never called or anything
No.
of that nature, okay.
Okay,
Thank
Amber
you.
Trilly,
that's, can we try to get a couple of traps
Yeah,
down
but we have to set them on her property, we can't set them on theirs.
there? You understand that?
John, yeah, that's fine. John's trapped a bunch.
Thank you,
Okay.
thanks, Pat.
Last month, at the council meeting,
Is that on?
Last month at the council meeting, I spoke about a meeting that took place in last July of 2023. And there was, I don't think we had a borough administrator at that point, and there wasn't any documentation of the minutes. So I was able to go back to the Valley Independent that was here, Max Robinette, and his actual article he wrote specifically about me commenting at this council meeting. We don't really need to look at the first page. But to be completely honest, I felt a little discredited at the last council meeting because people were, saying that I said words I didn't, but I really would love for everybody to turn to page 2 and look at the part that I outlined in purple. While I was speaking, Toprani found the property on the repository website and suggested a potential solution. The borough doesn't normally try to acquire properties, he said, but this might be one we'd like to get control of. It would at least allow us to perform a demo, perhaps. Toprani said, while government bodies often have limited authority over private property, unpaid taxes give municipalities a foot in the door. It wouldn't surprise me if this property has unpaid taxes. We'll call tax claim and see if anything potentially move on this house. He said, I feel like I broken record because I say this every meeting. The Constitution protects bad property owners too. We have to be able to do so we don't violate property rights. It's simple. We get the title to them, we have certain resources, we can perform demolitions. Cleaning up that eyesore will improve property values. If you were interested in purchasing those lots, put them back on the tax roll and give you extra space. That seems like something we can do. It's on the county list tonight. We just have to verify with the collection before purchasing it. Council President Mike McDowell said, code enforcement and council members will continue to stay in contact with Trilly and update on her progress. So there it is, black and white.
you know what the legal from, this quoted, I had this conversation.
I can speak to that.
Go ahead.
Madam President, I've been consistent on this topic forever that I've been solicitor here in Donora. I've dealt with this issue in so many Mon Valley communities. What I was proposing at the time was, if this property was in tax delinquency and it was going up for sale, one of the major issues we always see, we just saw it with the Case Cleaners building earlier last year, is that if we don't happen to catch the property in the repository sale, it's often purchased by an out-of-state investor who is absentee and doesn't do anything to improve the property. So I can tell you truly, when I was speaking to that, I've always been consistent. If we could gain control of the property for future demolition, that's something we strive to do. But if you read what I said at the end, we have limitations on the demolitions we can perform. If you wanted to sell that property to an abutting property owner to be able to perform that demolition, that's what we were trying to assist.
Well, I was told by the borough administrator that I agreed to maintain the property and I was going to buy it. That was the words that he said. That was not
So
something
you don't want to purchase the property?
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm looking at moving. Because this has been 17 years. My daughter was 4 months old when the people moved out. And it's been nothing but problems for the past 17 years. I really don't.
I mean, I don't know if it was ever even purchased.
Oh, it was purchased.
I know we did purchase
Yeah,
some.
but now we can complain, so we
Right,
have to
we have to
complain.
make it.
Right,
Right,
absolutely.
you jog my memory.
Okay,
that's for
so,
sure.
but the problem was, I thought we were in good faith helping you, and it ended up harming us. So it'll never happen again, that's for sure. But now.
Wait, how were you helping me? I don't understand.
You wanted to buy it, you said, I will take it over and put a driveway in, I will demo it and put a driveway in, that was why we did this for you.
I think it's why Councilman Zach talked about it the way he did. Gibby, who was overseeing code.
Of
for
course I came to
many
you, I'm
years,
complaining about the property.
You asked for the
He said on
property.
the first page, it's not the taxpayer's burden, it should be the homeowner's burden.
Right.
I mean, that's the issue we come up with all the time, is that what properties can we control?
Sure.
Which ones
I just wanted to speak because I felt discredited. I feel like my words were not presented the way that I said them. And this is the only thing I could find because we don't have minutes from the meeting.
Yeah, and no offense to
You checked on that, we don't have.
She can cover her ears.
We have minutes, but the only thing documented in the minutes was that she was here speaking about the property. There was no definitive explanation
That
on
being said,
everything.
Now, we are responsible, so now DeAnne is working on Blake, and
Right.
the borough's gonna have to be burdened with tearing down that demo, so whenever we can allot the money for that demo, if somebody would like to purchase that property will now be added, whatever the price was to tear it down, that'll be added to the property amount. That's just the way we're gonna do it with every property we tear down. Whatever the amount was to tear it down, that's what's gonna go into somebody takes and acquiring it, because we're not gonna spend $10, $12, $15,000 and then sell somebody a $300 lot.
One of the
That's
things
not-
we might be able to do, and this is a suggestion, don't wanna be held to it, but if we do get participation with the land bank,
Right.
perhaps that's a project that they can
That's
take
something,
on
as I
for us.
said,
But-
Mrs. Pavelko is working on this, she's working on blight, now that's part of our problem, that's part of our blight. So now we are right in the process, we're only 7 months into our administration here. We're doing the best we can, we inherited a lot.
How many blighted properties do you plan on, like how many,
We roughly said maybe 5 a year. If we start.
No, I mean,
planning-
with the project that she joined, is that 5 plus that, or?
No, it's whatever they can get us money for. She's working with them now, they're gonna come and go down Thompson Avenue, and they're gonna look at everything we own. Okay, because they're helping the municipality, we're not
Right.
helping the individual homeowners.
The difficulty is going to be, anytime these projects are undertaken, is that they're gonna focus on the downtown district and commercial properties that pose the greatest risk to neighboring properties, and those are extraordinarily expensive.
Yeah,
Expensive
sure.
building. So it'll be we have some money in our own budget for demolition that we spoke with him in the work session on Tuesday. But right now, we're in the middle of grass season, and weed season, and cutting season, so it's kinda hard for him to get his skeletal crew.
Oh, I get it,
to go tear
yeah.
it
They
down.
did come up and cut the sidewalk, thank
Right,
you.
and so they're doing, our street department is doing the best it can with
Yeah.
the amount of men they have. And we're limited on manpower, we're limited on equipment, and right now, we're just building back. This is what we're doing. We're working together, we're trying to go forward, we're all working for the same goal here. Nobody has an agenda, except it's the borough, it's for the borough and the Donora. We're making ordinances, we're doing property things, we're coming up with ideas, we're reaching out to our county, we're reaching out to our governor and our state, so we are doing something. All right, and you said, we have more than 6 months, okay, so we are working on it. And they
Well,
are
I
doing that.
appreciate all of your efforts, thank you. And I mean, being that I've only ever lived in Sonora, You know, I raised my children in Donora, and I don't know what we're gonna do. I really don't know what we're gonna do at this point. But thank you very much for hearing me.
Thank you very much.
Stay in Donora, but get a summer home somewhere else.
Mr. Roderick?
Mayor, Madam Chairman, and to the distinguished board. Kennywood's coming up. Just want to give you a piece of information. No hard coolers, hard top coolers. If you have them, they will send you back, and it's a long way back to the car. Me and my son, we're gonna donate 5 more tickets for Kennywood Day to the First Lady and her crew to however she wants to do it, preferably underserved community, elderly, or youth or what have you, but it's up to the First Lady and her crew to make the decision on who gets the tickets. People will oftentimes.
People don't know they already gave 25.
26.
My son worked hard at that. The Greenwood band will be playing on the 14th, and Kennywood already told him he'll be escorting them, so that's nice for him to do before he goes back to college in Buffalo. That being said, Madam Chairman, now is the Columbia Gap, they're tearing up our streets. And they're not being honest as far as, are we gonna get a new street up on 7th Street?
We are currently in contact with Columbia Gas and the water company and in conjunction, so the water company has work done along with Columbia Gas. They're gonna split the cost of the repaving, and we already know we have our own little go-to person at Columbia keeping track of the repaving. And it has to go according to ordinance or PennDOT specifications. So that is what the rules they follow for repaving when they do projects.
But is it gonna be a full pavement, not like patch jobs?
Well, again, if they're only gonna do what they're required.
Because our streets are tore up.
Now, you might be confused with, what they're doing is, they're digging up the ditch lines where they dug, they have to replace it with asphalt. And when they put that asphalt in, they will come back in and mill.
They'll mill the road and repave.
Well, here's the problem is, Madam Chairman, is that the heavy equipment, their tractors are tearing up the streets.
Right, well,
So-
Berestecky was referring to that, if you would have been here at our work session on Tuesday. Mr. Berestecky had the same concern, which we are gonna pass on to Columbia Gas. What is their responsibility for any kind of wear and tear they've done on the part of the road they didn't dig up? We are addressing that. Mr. Berestecky brought that to our attention at our work session.
I also had conversations with Columbia Gas and the engineer, the new restoration person, and the Adams Coal Company. They will be subcontracting it out for paving once the milling and paving is ready. And they'll be meeting with Dean and council whenever they're ready to discuss what they're going to do. And I'm hoping that they cover the majority of the paving, but if not, we're gonna work together they said we have to go by what's in the
Ordinance
ordinances
or
that
PennDOT
we have already established. And if anybody knows what's already in the ordinances, you'll have to look and see that whenever we have that meeting to discuss it. But hopefully, if we do have a portion, I know I don't want half a haircut, I want the whole haircut, so I want to make sure myself that we do have it. That was one of my concerns I was talking about in the work session. I'd like to see them pay, sidewalk to sidewalk, so if we have money available that we have to put in a portion of it, if we have to do that, that's what I'm already looking into getting that done.
Has to pay a small portion to do the whole road.
Yes, we wanna make
We'll
sure
get the
that's.
whole road done.
And the other,
So there's work, we're in the works.
the other issue is, and I know you're probably referring to streets up in your area, but if, say, for example, 2nd Street Extension, that's a state route. So no matter what the ordinance says, they're gonna follow PennDOT standards because it's a state route.
Right.
But
Now,
we are working on it.
that being said, with the sanitation, they still have not come up to par. They still come when they want. And that's the councilman brought up before that he didn't think it was right, or he wants the code enforcer to enforce people putting out the garbage cans early. Well, we're gonna do it anyway, Councilman, because we don't know when they're coming. They did it again, and then I happen to be out there purposely waiting on them and to confront them and ask them what the problem. And certain items, you know, like once again, they won't, for whatever reason, and Chief Rand knows about this, they can bring down that big garbage truck they can put all the garbage in the garbage truck instead of this little truck that comes down our street, which everybody's lying about, that they don't have enough space when they do, and they only pick up the bag and just throw it in there and that's it. And then your can still has garbage in it.
For some reason, that section is having a hard time. I don't know whether it's the workers, whether it's the truck, whether it's the parking, the alley, or the workers on the gas line. It's been a problem up there. Okay, so we are addressing it. The code's involved, the police are involved.
Joe,
But right now, there's a lot of.
I'm sending an email to Fayette Waste right now.
Could you call and see on 7th Street to top what day their pickup is?
They come when they feel like it.
No, there's two dates. It's Tuesday or Thursday.
We don't know what they came on Wednesday.
I wanna see what their schedule is.
The holiday.
They wouldn't, no, they come when they want to, Madam Chairman.
But what Mrs. Brice is saying, if it was the holiday weekend and your day is Thursday, they would actually come Friday because of the holiday. They're a day behind.
Nobody seems to be able to tell me what day.
Are you supposed to get picked up?
7th Street is
You're on
supposed to be
section
picked up.
Tuesday.
We thought it was Tuesday, Madam Chairman, but sometimes it's Thursday, sometimes it's Wednesday. We don't know that.
It's supposed to be Tuesday other than.
No.
Casey's gonna send down an issue and figure out what day
Now-
to get a schedule.
Now, Madam Chairman,
Yes, sir.
now I have been in contact, and they've contacted me, our Representative Gary Rethenstall, the chairman of Washington County Commissioner, Mr. Sherman has been in contact with me, and I brought it to y'all's attention several times, several meetings. The superintendent from Ringo called me this morning, and I'm asking y'all, we're not discriminating. We're just trying to make sure that we have the necessary resources to deal with this immigration emergency that we're having here. Now, Madam Chairman, there used to be where renters paid $10 a year, if I'm not mistaken. It was a $10 renters thing that they had to pay to
The
do,
moving fee.
but that was every year though.
No, yeah, he had.
But it wasn't a moving thing, it was every year. It was some kind of
Well, he has one now.
a renter's.
Inspections and rental fee, yeah, he have rental inspections.
No, a renter's insurance. I mean, not renter's insurance, but a renter's tax that you had to pay every year. That was like $10.
But you were on council years ago, was there anything like that?
No.
Right now.
I used to get it from my home one.
No.
Well, something has to be done to where, in my opinion, Madam Chairman, because like I said, I was at a meeting 2 weeks ago, and they said Donora was going to get 3,500. No, I'm serious. And that Ross Straver and Montague was going to fight it on the back end. And there's already a little problem, Chief Rand, because sometimes some people think that they should be able to take over the street. Well, Chief Brice would know what this signal is when, I already had one little confrontation that, they're looking at me like, what are you doing on the street here? I said, and I looked at them and said,
We can't point at a race or that.
We're not saying that, Madam Chairman. What I'm trying to say to you, Madam Chairman, that there's going to be, and both Chairman Sherman and Guy Rethenstall, which me and him we don't see eye to eye, but we see eye to eye on this one, that there's going to be a problem, especially that if we don't get the police department up to par when certain things happen, and there's going to be a language barrier. Just like I told the superintendent of schools today, you better ask for that $400,000 like Charlotte, where I'm going to be up your rear end, because there's a problem. There's going to be a problem here, and you know, listen, Madam Chairman, I want things to go the right way, and I know you do. I know the majority of this council want things to go the right way. So I'll let you fester and let you stew over that.
No, we don't have any authority, or we just don't have authority to regulate. We have ordinance. We cannot discriminate about who's letting the town and who don't. I mean, are we getting immigrants? I'm sure we are.
Oh, well, they-
We don't know.
Well, we do have authority to not let 20 people live in a 2-bedroom house.
Well, that's what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying, right there.
What we do
Okay.
have that.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
What we passed today was the code regulations, like, we need to make sure our codes are up to par, so that when the people, we already voted on that today, when people are coming in and out of town, that the inspections are being made, which we already have that in place, that these apartments have to be inspected. We have to make sure anybody that owns property has everything inspected, and people are not just moving at 20 people into a 1-bedroom place.
And we are trying to keep track of that. I mean, you see movement, you see somebody moving in, we go check out. Where, do you own it, did you buy it?
And this is another reason why Mr. Volpe is overwhelmed, okay? It's a part-time position, 32 hours a week. We did advertise for a second code enforcement officer to assist him with his duties. We do have 2 applicants that we're gonna be bringing in for interviews, and council will have to make a decision on that. That'll relieve some of the burden of Mr. Volpe, and the possible new hire will take over some of these duties. But it is too much for one person to handle for 32 hours a week, and no one's here on Saturdays and Sundays when work is being done. My proposal is that one of the code enforcement officers will pull a Saturday shift during the summer, because people are doing work Saturdays when no one's watching. And people are moving on Saturdays and Sundays.
Well, I must say that, Councilman and Madam Chairman, I'll be surprised. You know, I've been out late driving because it's been hot, and I said, well, let me just take a little drive. The Donora's getting a little bit busy late at night, like 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm surprised the traffic that's coming through. Actually, I'm actually shocked of the amount of traffic that is coming through Donora at night on the upper streets, which would usually be dead. But I will say this in closing here. I thank you for what y'all did for my former mayor, Brice. That was very, very, very professional. It was very thought of, and you know, I really appreciate y'all for doing that. May I approach the councilman? Thank you. Please.
Thank you.
I just had 6 points to make that support my proposition. In a continued effort to get handicap parking for the residents of the North Towers. First of all, kudos and accolades to you guys for putting the handicap spots finally across the street. Law dictates any parking lot, privately owned or otherwise, that provides 26 to 50 spaces have to have a minimum of 2 spaces, and you did 4, 2 at either end. My question is, why did it take 45 years? The building has been there since 1979.
We just recently have.
That was private property prior to the borough.
Oh, okay,
We
okay.
just recently, in the last couple of years, the street department went down there and cut all the trees that blocked it from the sidewalk, and we cleaned up the parking lot, and we stopped putting recycling in there, and we have been helping with that parking lot over the last 3 years.
And contrary to what I was told at the council workshop on June 6th, the street cleaner had never been inside the parking lot to pick up the seed cones that make people stumble and fall, although the residents have picked them up on multiple occasions. And I question, why aren't there handicap curbs on both sides of Meldon to access with a wheelchair the parking spots that are underneath a tree? And the steps are still an obstacle for wheelchairs, there's no railing. Okay, a second point, contrary to what I was told at the council workshop again, technically, the yellow curb does not have to be on the full block. It doesn't exist on any other municipality around here, Menneson, Monongahela, Charlevoix, near,
That's a fire lane. sir.
nor Bell Vernon.
That's a fire lane.
So it's not a handicap lane, it's a
not
fire
handicap,
lane.
It's a fire
Right.
lane.
And the yellow curb is 20 feet, not 25 feet away from the fire station, and you have exceeded that. And I was also told that police cannot enforce people hoarding 2 parking spots unless white lines are there. There are white lines, but you can't see them from the road. They're on top of the curb. And on the 3 parking spots facing 7th Street, there's 1 when there should be 3. And of the 5 spaces facing 6th Street here, there are 2 where there should be 5. My next point, contrary to what I was told, you do have the jurisdiction to put a blue curb on a state route, but you have to request it from PennDOT, tell them why, they authorize it, and then you go and do it. But I was never told that. Yet, at the American Legion State Route, Meldon Ave, there are 3 handicap spots there. So handicapped people can go there and get drunk, but yet they don't have it at their residence. And I'm getting my information, some of it, from Pennsylvania Code, Title 67, Chapter 212, subsection 3354 specifically. And by not doing so, it is a violation of the American Disability Act, the Fair Housing Act, and HUD guidelines. And now it's become a civil rights issue based on discrimination. The law states all handicapped spaces must be closest accessible route in proximity to the main entrance. My next point, the senior center. It is now inside the building, have been for years. Law states any place that provides services, goods, or programs, you have to have a minimum of 2 handicap spots. You had them on 7th Street when the senior center was across the street. You have them now.
Sir, that's our street, your parking lot for the tower is a private parking lot. So anywhere in that private parking lot has nothing to do with us. As far as the Main Street goes, Mr. Perrotta explained to you at the last meeting, it is a fire safety issue. Actually, if they wanted to, they wouldn't have any parking in front of that building.
There should be a fire lane all the way around the building, 360 degrees, no parking in the alleyway.
If they wanted to go by the law,
Like that,
there would be none.
it's a 10-story high-rise
And so
with multiple occupants.
So it's irrelevant that I have detailed reports from my PCP and insurance stating my disabilities.
Sir, again, it is a private parking lot. The Borough of Donora has no control over
I'm
that.
talking about Melbourne.
We have, it's a fire lane.
The
It's
entire
not a,
block.
it is a fire lane.
If you own property and you wanted a handicap space at your property, we have the authority to give you one. But in a commercial building, we do not have that authority. We cannot say, we're gonna give you a thing. There's 104 apartments in there.
But
We're
PennDOT
gonna
does.
give you 104 parking spaces.
But PennDOT does if you request it.
That's private property. You need to speak with the Donora Towers, not the Borough of Donora.
And then Donora Tires does what?
They can contact PennDOT, but the authority having jurisdiction would be the Borough of Donora. We can deny it. It is a fire lane. What don't you understand? This is a fire safety issue for the residents, not a handicap
In
issue.
other municipalities, the entire.
This is not other municipalities. This is the Borough of Donora. If we have to put a ladder truck on Meldon Avenue to access the 8th floor of the high-rise, we're gonna do it.
Well, of course.
Okay, of course. And what happens if there's multiple vehicles there? We're gonna push them out of the way.
Well, then that would be justifiable.
You want that to be justifiable when there's fire coming out of a window and there's somebody hanging from a balcony. There's no time for that.
Does it exist in any other borough?
I don't care about other boroughs. I care about Donora.
Well, isn't what is good for one is good for all?
I don't care about other boroughs and other municipalities. I'm on council in the Borough of Donora.
Okay, so I have to contact,
Sir, listen, your fight is with the towers. The towers parking lot should be all handicap spaces. That's what they should be.
and they contact PennDOT.
No,
they do it
it's their
themselves.
property.
your parking lot between the fire department and the building, that's where they should have a
That should be all
handicap.
handicap parking.
Right there
That's
in
on
your
the
parking
tower.
lot, so that
That's
you
not
can
on
get
Donora.
access.
But nothing on Melvin,
No, we
because
don't.
it's the entire block is a fire lane.
I mean, it kinda
Yes.
makes sense if a fire would come, we can't have cars in front of the.
Right.
That's why the
And
line.
that's why,
So it can't be anywhere on Melvin.
No, it needs to be inside the parking lot
You
of
need
the
to
tower.
go to your tower.
hopefully it never happens.
So-
We couldn't get fire trucks in front.
So, in other words, it's unfortunate that the fire station and that building have to be within the same block.
It's not unfortunate, that's great. That's great.
We say why, because it's.
Well, it's
That's
not,
great, it's a
not great
15-second
for-
response time.
And in the meantime, I could have brought 8 people here that have fallen, been hospitalized, and injured.
By the fire hall being where it's at, and your building has nothing to do with it. That's a fire lane, it'll always be
It's
a
a,
fire
it's a
lane.
commercial
So we can
apartment
get,
building.
so
There's
we can
nothing
get
to do
fire
with-
trucks in front in case of
You
an
know,
emergency.
you're.
So even if I contact Heritage Housing and they contact PennDOT, they still can't put
No.
3 codes there.
You should go to the towers and request that every parking space in your parking lot should be a handicap space. You have one like that.
But it's still not close to, it's accessible to the front entrance.
That's
That's,
the closest you're gonna get.
So the
Close
fire
as you're
lane
gonna get.
overrides that.
the front of the building has to remain open for fire and EMS,
Okay, so the fire lane overrides that.
absolutely.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. But now, like I said, request your towers to make every space in the parking lot a handicap space.
If they choose to do so, they can
Only
do
people
it.
who have handicapped vehicles can park in that parking lot.
Okay.
If they don't have to, they can walk, let them park across the street. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, I wasn't told that.
Thanks. It's a motion to adjourn in order.
Motion to adjourn, please.
Motion, okay,
Motion by
Mr. Berestecky.
Second by Volpe. Adjourn.